Hello everyone, and welcome to my live experiment. Today, I'm going to be making something fun. I'm going to show you how to make kinetic sand. To make kinetic sand, I'm going to use fine sand, cornstarch, dish soap, and water. I'm also going to need a big bowl to mix the sand in, and a tablespoon. First, I'm going to pour a cup of fine sand into the bowl. Next, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of dish soap to the cornstarch and sand and mix as best I can. While I'm mixing, I'm going to add a little bit of water at a time to make the sand slimier, and then I'm going to use my hands to mix the sand thoroughly. After mixing, the sand feels kind of muddy, so I'm going to let it dry and cool off for a couple of hours. So let's see what happens. Kinetic sand is a regular sand mixed with a polymer, which is a long repeating chain of molecules that gives the sand its smooth and stretchy property, yet still maintains a dense fluid consistency. Kinetic sand is an example of a diluent or non-Newtonian fluid because due to the polymer, the sand is able to act as a solid when molded and act as a liquid when applied pressure. Alright, it's been 2 hours, so now let's see what happened to the kinetic sand. It still feels kind of muddy and wet, but let's see what happens when I mold it. So the consistency was not what I wanted, so I'm going to make a new batch of kinetic sand, but this time I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of Elmer's glue to try and make the kinetic sand slimier and stretchier consistency. This time, the kinetic sand definitely feels a lot slimier. So now I'm going to set it aside for 2 hours to let it dry and cool off. And let's see what happens after that. Alright, it's been 2 hours. So now let's see what happened to our second batch of kinetic sand. It feels a lot slimier and smoother than the first batch. So now let's see what happens when I mold the kinetic sand. As you can see, the kinetic sand is able to maintain its shape of the mold, but when applied a little pressure, is able to split apart easily like a liquid. Here's a closer look just for fun.